Hey, hey, hey.
You Fat Albert?
I loved Fat Albert as a kid. Who didn't love Fat Albert?
Before my time.
You just can't leave it alone. Anyway,
it was like before my time, and then they came out with the like live action Keenan version.
Yeah, that was
right. Didn't he do one?
He did a Saturday Night Live skit on one. I don't know, he had a show.
He didn't do the real.
I don't think he had a show.
Like a movie. Like I thought there was a live action.
I think he had a show.
Fat Albert.
Don't worry about that. It doesn't really matter. The point is, it's segment
You're
2.
the one that started off by doing it. They did. They did.
When?
Fat Albert 2004.
It was a movie.
Keenan.
It was a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Never
live
saw it.
action.
Never saw it.
Yeah, don't.
I won't. Anyway, segment
That's what I'm saying.
2.
I was too young for the old one. Too old for that one. Sorry.
IDD.
Giants.
Hashtag IDDST. Look us up. I don't disagree. That is the redoubtable one. Tom Izzo. I am the highly questionable one. Arjun Miliaccio. Segment 2. NFL recap. The rest of the weekend. Playoff spots were clinched. People got eliminated. People kept themselves alive. We're going to start with the team that knocked the door down. And that would be the New York Football Giants. Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you. I played tough.
This is
look. I put in the work this year.
You still don't wear the hat. I thought you wore the hat tonight to celebrate.
I'm so sorry, man.
It's your hat.
I hate hats.
I know, but they made the playoffs.
I know.
Put it up for the playoffs.
I know. It's just
come on. You go playoffs. Playoffs.
I like beanies, like snow hats. But even those, they annoy my head.
You don't need a beanie tonight.
I know.
It's a nice, comfortable, gorgeous. It's got to be 60 degrees.
I look better with the bald head and the beard than the hat and the beard. Anyway,
then get a shirt.
But I do have to say,
a G-Men shirt.
I do have to say, I'm a brat of a fan. Okay, and
you're not going to turn this into a negative, are you?
No. I'm just going to call myself out for being a fan brat.
Okay.
Because I am a fan brat.
Okay, describe this. What is a fan brat exactly?
A fan brat is you're a fan of a team, but you're such a brat when it comes to that team like growing and developing and going through adversity.
Meaning
you're, when the Giants are playing great at the beginning of the season, you start to get that hope and you think, holy crap, like they actually look like a good team. And then they hit a skid, right? And you start to go, this was fool's gold. These guys are phonies, and then they hit another shot where like they have a couple good games in a row and you go, you know what? I'm so proud of where they are right now. Like that's a brat fan, a fan brat. Wouldn't you agree?
Partially.
So you don't want to agree because if you agree, you'll have to call yourself a fan brat.
No, I don't agree with it because I think if you can only go by what you see. No, this is the truth though. You can only go by what you see on the field.
Sure.
If they're playing like crap for 3 weeks in a row, regardless of that, that's a problem.
No,
you're not.
Of course.
I'm not saying if they're playing great, and then you're gonna. What are you gonna react to?
No. But my thing is, I get too emotional about it.
That's part of being a fan.
I understand.
Fan is short for fanatic. You understand that, right?
I know.
Well, that's
but I think there needs to be space for me to for my team to lose a couple games in a row and maybe you know what? They played pretty well. Right. They made a few mistakes.
Right, hold on a second.
When that happens, typically I go, this team sucks. I knew Daniel Jones was a fraud.
No.
Saquon Barkley's hurt again. It's the same old shit. And then the Giants play Minnesota tough.
On the road.
They beat the Commanders.
On the road.
Yep. On the road. They could have won that.
Could have won that. They were there.
They beat the Commanders in a big game.
On the road.
Even though the Commanders are.
Well, that's
now. We'll talk.
We'll get into that in a minute. We found something. Never mind.
And then the Colts are coming in. It's winning in. And I know the Colts, right now, the Colts have one of the worst situations team-wise in the league.
Offensive line, that talk,
Well, just think about everything the Colts went through this year.
Yeah.
And have gone through the past 5 years. First with Luck retiring.
Yeah.
That was just...
Yeah, who was just entering his prime. Yeah.
That spiraled.
Because they had
a franchise quarterback.
He was a franchise quarterback. He was on the ascent.
They went Peyton Manning to Peyton Manning.
Just beginning
They basically went Peyton Manning to Peyton Manning, and he said no.
He was just beginning to enter his prime.
Right.
And he walked away.
Yeah.
And I get why he walked away. I'm not...
Yeah.
I understand it. But for the Colts,
But the Colts have had some strong teams since then.
Well, Carson Wentz kept them out of the playoffs last year.
But can't hit on a quarterback.
No.
They bring in Matt Ryan. Everybody thinks, man, Matt Ryan's pretty old. But, hey, that's a good team. They got that great running game.
Well, this is what we thought.
Yeah.
If we
They
were
always
going
play
on the
good
assumption
defense.
the
Yeah.
running game was still going to be the running game.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to morph into like the bottom 5 of the league
Yeah.
after this dude was almost won an MVP the year before.
Yeah.
No one saw that coming.
I know.
Or I would have been like, oh, I don't
And
know.
they look terrible.
Yeah.
They fire, what's his name, Frank Reich. And then they bring in Jeff Saturday. Everybody crushes them. They win one game, and everybody goes, we knew Jeff Saturday would do it. He's going to run the ball. He's going to do this. And then they lose like 7 games in a row.
You try to run the ball, but if your line's not blocking, that's not on Jeff Saturday. He's not blocking. He's trying to run the ball.
No, but I'm saying, the guy came in and won one game, and everybody was like, yep, he's going to play smash mouth football, blah, blah, blah. He's the next player. No, the team is in shambles right now.
No, but he may have called those plays. They just can't do them.
Right,
The team
that's my
stinks,
point. Like,
yeah.
but everybody was like talking about Jeff Saturday after beating the Raiders, like
Which the Raiders
he was
have been
the answer
giving
to the
game-
questions.
I didn't hear that.
Yes.
No.
Go back.
Well, the only thing I heard was he came right from the analyst booth and wins a game. That's all I heard.
No, because
nobody
look,
said
the week he was hired, what's his face, Bill Cowher
yes.
on NFL Today or whatever the hell
Yeah,
that show is
the
called.
Sunday count. Yeah.
He talked about how there's so many people on that staff that could have done that job. They ripped him. They basically said, this is a ridiculous hire. There's available people who are on the staff that deserve a shot. Okay, then Saturday wins that first game. And you got people popping up going, that Jeff Saturday hire ain't so bad. He's going to have them playing, hard-nosed, smash-mouth football, and then he loses 7 in a row.
They were bad.
It's not a good team.
They were bad before he got there.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He can't. You can't.
And he's not going to be the answer.
You can't change. Well, you don't know that either because here's what he can't do. He can't change personnel in the middle of a season.
The way they brought him in, I think, almost taints everything from here on out.
If their line was producing the way it was the year before, Mr. Reich wouldn't have got fired in the first place. Okay, and Matt Ryan would have had a much better year. Okay, look, you don't have an offense. I don't. Look, Tom Brady, what he's doing right now is even more amazing because he has the worst line in football. How he's still standing is a fucking miracle.
I'm still standing.
And not only is he still standing, he threw for 435
Looking
yards.
like a true survivor.
3 touchdowns. Ran in a 4th, I might add.
Feeling like a little kid.
I mean, every time somebody puts a pin in this
still
guy,
standing.
he doesn't pop. Okay, but the bottom line
all
is
this time.
he's the GOAT. He's the one-off.
Picking up the pieces of my
He's
life
the one-off.
without you by my
Nobody else
side.
in this league, I don't
Still
could be doing what,
standing. Dude, that was going pretty. I
it
thought
was.
that was going
You
in
had
tune.
yeah, I'm just saying.
Like we were singing part of the same song.
Well, I was singing. I'm singing
You're
this.
singing
is,
the praises of Tom Brady.
Yeah, because every time someone writes, he's done. He's
Here's the
done.
problem.
He does this.
Here's the problem.
How many times
we
a guy-
started talking about the Giants?
Yeah.
I was dumb enough to pivot to the Colts,
Yeah, you screwed this
who are
all up.
relevant.
You screwed this
And
all
now
up. Back to the
he
Giants.
somehow brought it back to Tom Brady.
Back to the Giants.
Just
Back to the Giants.
shameless.
Well, you called yourself a fan, Brad. That's how this whole cockamamie
a
thing
fan,
got
Brad.
started. All right, well, I don't agree with that, but all right, you want that title.
I'm a fan, Brad. And
I
so
think
are you.
I think you're a normal fan.
You're a fan, Brad.
I think you're a normal, real,
You're
diehard,
a
passionate
fan, Brad.
fan who loves his teams, and when they lose, it hurts.
No, but
And
let me,
that's
let
what
me
makes
talk
you a
positively.
fan.
Let me talk positively.
I'm not saying that's a negative.
I know, but I'm saying I was talking negatively.
Yes.
So let me talk positively.
Please.
Okay?
You should be. They're in the fucking playoffs.
It's amazing to me how I can go from thinking, you know what, they probably won't make the playoffs, to like somehow convincing myself that there's hope that maybe they make a run. Okay, it's funny how quickly I can switch, but I will tell you this, and I know some people have started talking about it, so this doesn't feel like it's my take, but whatever, it's true to me.
Uh-huh.
Seeing them win that game, sorry, excuse me for the burp. Seeing them win that game, the way they won that game, it made me think of the 07-08 team. Headed into the last week, already clinched. The Pats were coming into town, trying to go 16-0. and like history was on the line, and the whole week leading up was like, do they play everybody or do they sit? Like, why do they need to play?
Yeah.
The Giants played, and it was one of those moral victories where they almost beat the Patriots, but the Patriots were better and they ended up winning. But it changed the psyche of that team to thinking we can play with anybody.
If we can play with these guys, yeah.
And I think the Eagles, similar offense to that Pats team, not in terms of design or anything like that, but in terms of like that Pats team could score points like crazy. Obviously, it wasn't the running offense that the Eagles have now.
No, but the Eagles passing offense wasn't the
Of
passing
course,
offense.
no, of course
So,
they didn't have Brady. But
no.
I'm saying,
Or all those weapons.
It's one of those high-flying, high-powered offenses that I feel like if the Giants D plays against them and hits Hurts, right, get some hits on because they've been getting to the quarterback.
Yes, they have.
Kayvon
Much
Thibodeau
better.
has
They
been
were
getting to the
they were talking about
quarterback.
that today on NFL Live, that how they've improved vastly over the second half of the
Thibodeau,
season.
but really it's coming from Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence up the middle. They're pushing it, and the edges have a chance to rush, which is helping the coverage. They also got, remember the two secondary players
Yes.
that were out?
They got 'em back, right?
McKinney and Adoree
Yep,
Jackson.
they got
both
healthy.
came back.
Yeah.
So, like, if they go out and play solid against the Eagles, win doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But play them tough to the end,
I was
and Hurts is playing?
I was going to ask you this question because it's an interesting one. Here's the difference. Here's the thing. And whatever the Giants do, I would understand.
Yeah.
My thing is this. Because everything's locked up for them and because their margin for error is smaller because they don't have all the weapons of a lot of these teams, I was thinking there's no way in hell either Danny Dimes or Saquon Barkley should play this Sunday. Because you lose either one of those two, you have you don't even have a pig's prayer. So, and the bottom line is, this is looking like they may end up going to Minnesota for a rematch.
And they have a big shot to beat
I got
them.
news for you. I would love to see that rematch. Because I think the Giants should have beat them the first time. The bottom line is, it's hard to beat a good team twice in the same season. Minnesota does not want to see the New York Giants. They do not, because they know how hard it is.
But
to
Minnesota
beat them.
also scares me because that offense is ridiculous.
The Giants are the biggest thing about that offense is the fear factor. If you're not afraid of it, you can beat it. And the Giants are not afraid of it. No.
I mean, they scored a good amount of points on the Giants.
They did, but the Giants were in the game. They stayed with them. The bottom line is, if I'm the Giants, and again,
You
I
can hit
want
Cousins.
I want your opinion on this. Would you bench those two for this Sunday, or would you play them? Because there's nothing to gain.
Yeah. So I think there is something to gain,
Which is what?
which is confidence as a team, which I think going into the playoffs is a major thing. Now, having said that, if somebody's not feeling good, you're not playing. Saquon, I would probably sit because he's been running like a madman all
You
year.
need him
Yes.
to make any kind of a run. You need him.
Yes.
And he doesn't. And being he's a running back,
Yeah.
his workload this year, there's a million reasons not to play him on Sunday.
Yeah.
That all makes sense. So he'll probably start and get 30
Now-
carries. But I mean,
now,
Danny Dimes too.
But here's my thing about Danny. I would like to see him play, but I would like to see them just call plays where you're getting the ball out. It's like you're trying to smash mouth run with the backup running back, Breida.
Yeah.
You know? Are you yawning on me?
Sorry.
So you're running the ball and your passes are quick hits. And play, if I don't know if it's a close game, keep playing, but maybe 3 quarters. Half.
I see both sides of it. I'm just looking at the fact that they are very limited offensively in terms of ways they can win because they just don't have a lot of weapons yet.
Yeah.
They've got the ones they've got are good, but you're talking basically 3.
Yeah.
It's those 2 and the kid Slayton on the outside, the one receiver who we both like, who's made something of himself. He's the only really other discernible weapon on this team, at least right now. So the thing is, to me,
But you can't sit the whole team.
no, just sit those.
Just those 2?
Just those 2 on offense. I even consider sitting Slade. He's your one guy in the passing game that can get open. To me, those 3 don't play.
I don't know, man.
You don't need the game. It's like a bye week. How people work so hard to get the 1 seed. Why? They can have a bye. The Giants basically have a bye.
I know.
And to me, I would take it.
But they're playing a game in front of
They
their fans.
don't need the game. I'll tell you what this could do then. Look at it this way. The backup guys, in case of injury, they get a live shot at this real team. So what if, God forbid, in the playoff game when these guys go down? When these guys play against the Eagles, get some reps against a real team, probably the best team in the conference right now, them and San Fran.
But how do you decide who doesn't play?
I think your most important players don't play. Whoever
do you
you deem
decide
that
that?
is,
Yeah, I mean,
I think everybody knows in the Giants who they
I
are.
guess you're right. But I mean, like, they have important defenders.
Then you've got backups at every position.
Yeah.
Play them.
Yeah.
Because, again, what if any one of these guys goes down in the playoffs? At least their backups has live reps, and not in the preseason, real reps against a real team. That, by the way, the Eagles are playing for the number 1 seed. They have to
I
win
know,
this game.
but that's what I'm saying.
So they're gonna get
wouldn't
real
it be
reps
nice
against an elite
Wouldn't it be
team.
nice to be like, fuck you, Philly?
No,
you're not
no.
fucking getting the number 1 seed.
No. I'll tell you why. Okay, because you want to beat you can't beat this team twice. In the same nope. You can beat them once though. Okay, and to me, I'd rather it be in the playoffs than in the regular season. You have nothing. What you're talking about ego. I'm talking about. Do you really want to make a run at this place? It's better to be. This is one of those. It's better to be smart
so
than
some
tough.
of that is ego, but my
All of it
first-
is ego.
No. My first point was about building momentum towards your goal.
They're in the playoffs. They made their goal.
I understand, but I think okay. So one of the reasons the Giants won the Super Bowl that year was because of that game.
I can prove this to you.
But do you agree with what I just said or no?
One of the reasons they won that game also is because Tom Brady was on one leg.
Okay, that's true too.
Okay, so and two things can be true.
That's what
but
I'm
just
saying. I said one of the
I
reasons.
don't
I didn't
think.
say the reason.
I think in the case of that particular team, yes, because the way to beat that team was you had to see them again. The first time you see the Patriots, and this happened to the Giants, you're in that year anyway. You were in awe of them. You were in awe of their speed. It's one thing to see it on tape. It's another thing to be on the field with it. And every
But the
team,
Giants weren't.
but they gave up 38 points.
And the Pats gave up 35.
Yeah, the Pats defense was the one that didn't show up that night. The Pats offense showed up that night.
Yeah, but the Giants.
Yeah, I know that.
The Giants D gave up points that whole year.
I know, but the Pats averaged 36 points a game that year. They scored 38. They showed up on offense. The defense, which was only giving up 15 a game, didn't show up that night.
But then the defense in the Super Bowl showed up.
They did, and the offense.
did.
Yeah, well, I think Tom Brady showed up, but he was limping.
Or both defenses just showed up real strong.
Both defenses were top 10 that year.
Yeah.
They played like it.
But the
Pats'
Giants,
offense
the
was
Giants had the ability to get blown
The
out.
Pats-
First 2 games of that year, I think they gave up
Yeah, but
like
they saw the
600,
Patriots.
700 yards.
If they had
offense.
seen the Patriots for the first time in the Super Bowl, they would have
lost.
They would have given up 38 points.
Yeah.
The fact that they saw them the first time, had a chance to see their speed and they learn how to adjust to it,
Right.
this boded for them much better the second time.
Yeah.
Okay, and it hurt the Patriots because the Pats are thinking, we already beat these guys on their field. We ain't worried about them.
Yeah.
Okay, this helped the Giants and hurt the Patriots. So I'm saying
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's the only positive is
But that was that team.
that's true.
The Eagles ain't that team.
Yeah.
They're not even close to that team. Okay, as good as A.J. Brown is, he is no fucking Randy Moss.
Oh, of course.
Not even fucking in the same stratosphere. There is no Wes. Look at Devontae Smith is not Wes Welker either. Okay, and then there's freaking Dante Stallworth on the outside, who's a 4-3 burner on the other side. They don't. Eagles don't have a
I'm not
passing
saying
game.
they were the best.
I'm just saying.
that was the best offense
The
I've
Giants.
ever seen.
Here's the thing: the Giants have also already played the Eagles once.
Yeah.
They've already seen them.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
don't need to see them again. Okay, to me,
I don't know. It's just like
Listen
you're
to
going to
me.
sit half the team.
no, you sit the most important players, and to me,
But all your starters are important.
But
the
there are-
Giants don't have a ton of depth.
nobody came into training camp this year talking about a New York Giants offensive lineman. Everybody came into training camp talking about Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones.
Actually, 2 big offensive linemen, Andrew Thomas, who's becoming one of the better tackles in the game,
He is.
and Evan Neal, who's, I believe, an Alabama O-lineman, who
I think he is. Yeah.
he's struggled this year.
Yeah.
So those guys are both very important. And Feliciano, who I think
You're
is
missing
the
my point. I'm not saying they're not important. Don't play them either.
But that's that's
Play the backups.
That's what I'm talking about. But like,
Play the backups wherever you can.
yeah,
You know why?
I guess wherever you can is a good.
Wherever you
if
can.
you can't, you can't.
You can't, but play them wherever you can. Because to me, but the first two guys on that list are the two guys I mentioned.
I don't know.
Under no circumstances should those two take a snap this weekend. They need a bye.
Dude, if Daniel Jones were to get hurt in this game,
Either one of
I'd
them.
be furious.
Either one of them, you'd be like, why? And you'd be saying, why the fuck did they play him? They had nothing to gain.
Well, see,
That'll be you on.
The one for me is Saquon.
He's number one.
He's number one.
Danny Dimes is number two.
I think Daniel Dimes has learned how to protect himself. He's
I
taking
would
less
not
big shots.
take that risk with a Phillies front
Yeah,
line.
no, you're right. You're right. Their D line is nasty.
Don't take that risk when you don't have to take it.
I think one of their D linemen has 15 sacks.
I'm telling you right now, if the Giants in fact draw Minnesota, I'm picking the Giants to win that game.
Me too.
And then we'll see where their cards go from there. But I think that one, if they get Minnesota, I'm picking them.
I think that's almost guaranteed.
pretty well.
The Niners are playing the Cardinals.
Depends on where, because there's still three teams separated by. They don't have seeds 1 through 3 yet.
Right, but if the Niners beat the Cardinals, that solidifies Minnesota.
It should.
It will, unless Minnesota loses.
Loses, which they're capable of losing. Let's be honest. I mean, Minnesota doesn't stop anybody. They really don't. Their defense is nothing. They're not.
But that's what I'm saying. No matter what, the Niners are going to go in.
They should beat the Cardinals,
Right.
who are playing for a draft pick. They're trying to lose if you're the Cardinals. You're trying to get the number in the top 3.
Well, but I mean,
Yeah.
Cardinals torn ACL to Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Wasn't great. I can't remember. Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy, yeah.
He ended up getting an injury.
Yeah.
Then they went to, who was the third string they went to?
Purdy.
No.
Oh.
That's Niners.
Oh, I don't know who the third guy is. McSorley?
McSorley.
Yeah.
Now they're starting another guy this week.
Yeah, Niners should win. Okay, bottom line
Right,
is
there's no way.
bottom line is
They're going to play
the
Minnesota.
Giants have an excellent chance in their first round game, especially if they're healthy. And I would give every person you deem of the day off Sunday because you want, if they get, Minnesota's playing for a seed, they're going to have to play on their stars. You get a week rest, you're going to have the advantage going into Minnesota.
Yeah, you're right.
To me, think about the playoffs. Because listen, I understand you're playing with house money right now because nobody outside of that locker room probably thought they could do this.
Who's Minnesota playing?
I forget. I don't know. We can look it up. But the bottom line is, I don't play my most important people this weekend. And as many stars as I can give the weekend off to, I do. Because you want that added, you want a bye week to go into Minnesota because you almost beat them. I guarantee you can beat them. So to me, that's what I would do. There's nothing to gain here except injuries.
Yeah, I love the fact that they almost beat them in Minnesota.
But they didn't beat them. So
Right.
they're even like, we were right there. If we do one, I'm telling you, this would be the. This
The
would be
Vikings are going to win. They're playing the Bears.
There you go.
And Fields- and Fields is out.
Fields is out. Yeah. So there you go. So the bottom line
Niners
is
will win, Vikings
Yeah.
will
So
win.
the bottom line is, I give every stud I got, the day off Sunday. You have nothing to gain and everything to lose.
So if I'm
If
the,
you win the
if
game,
I'm the
nothing
Vikings,
happens.
I probably wouldn't play people.
They have to win that game though.
No, they don't.
If they lose it, they're not guaranteed the third spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's popping up ahead of them?
I'm saying that's right because Tampa Bay has to be in the 4th slot.
Right. So
they
I
won
think
the
that
division.
there's really, I mean,
Well, wait a minute. I have to look at the record.
if the Niners lost to the Cardinals
Yeah.
and the Vikings beat the Bears,
they could be 2.
they could be 2.
Yeah.
But that's not going to
Which would be bad for the Giants.
right, because then they'd have to go to
They have
San
to go to
Fran.
San Fran. Yeah. So anyway, the bottom
Although
line is,
Jarrett Stidham made quite the statement against that San Fran defense.
he did.
He made me think, okay, when I saw him make that play where he ran to his left,
Yeah.
planted, he saw Devontae,
Yeah.
he waited till he was just behind the defense.
Amazing how many touches Devontae got this weekend.
Oh my God.
He cost me a championship last weekend because Josh forgot about it. But then this week he's a part of the game. But
No. But this was what this makes me think. And this is not a bash on this guy, but Derek Carr, I think he's a little stationary. Stidham was all over the place.
Stidham is known for his mobility. At least
I
he
didn't know
was.
that.
Yeah.
I never knew who he
Well,
was.
I only know it because he was a Patriot.
Right.
What are his strengths? Very mobile. That's
What are his strengths? You never saw him.
Yeah. Well, Tom Brady was
Right,
there.
exactly.
You weren't going to see
That's
him.
what I'm saying. So it's like, to see him out there, I was like, man, this guy looks like a quarterback. I wonder what would have happened if the Raiders
Defense
had
could
gone
do
gone
it.
with him.
Well, at the end of the day, they still lost the game again. Now, yes, the Niners.
Yeah, they were playing the Niners.
I know they hung with them, and that's impressive.
The Niners' offense is crazy. Purdy looks better than either quarterback before him.
He does, right? Yeah, he does. Because you know why? Because he is a bigger version of Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's a better version.
He's bigger too. I mean, he's more of a. He's harder to bring down. He's more mobile than Jimmy G.
But his throws seem better. I mean, he's
accuracy-wise, I'd say they're even. Where they're different.
Yeah.
This kid is a dual threat. Jimmy G's not a dual threat. This kid is.
Well, Jimmy G's a dual threat in terms of he's a quarterback and he's one of the best looking guys in the league. That's a dual threat.
Well, if they're doing the modeling thing campaign, yeah, he's the franchise.
He's the Gweed.
He's the goat.
He's the guinea.
He's the giddy and the goat.
The guinea and the goat.
Yeah. Anyway, which brings us. So congratulations to the Giants, and I think they have an excellent shot if it's Minnesota. I think you would agree with me there, and I would tell you, and we can disagree on this. That's fine, but I would not play your guys.
No, you've started to pull me over to that side
because you got it. It's like if you can get a bye week without having a bye week, that's a win.
I know,
especially when nothing changes.
I know. I just hate bye weeks.
And you are not
because sometimes I feel like.
Here's what I was going to say to you.
Hold on. Different.
Hold on. You ask any guy in this league if they would prefer the bye. 100% of them are going to say that. So if you actually get a chance to do it and you have to play a game, that's a blessing. Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
I'm just
stay
saying.
Healthy.
Stay healthy. You want that. Anyway, which brings us to the teams that stayed alive. The Patriots stayed alive. It was against a second-string quarterback who later got knocked out and then became the third-string quarterback, and they still had to hold on to their lives. So
that's weird.
They're not good.
Really?
They're playing. Now here's the one thing that was encouraging. They actually went down the field in the second half. They went vertical. They got the Baylor burner involved. He had 3 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Kid produced.
What's his name again?
His name is Tyquan Thornton. 4.28 speed, 6'2". Got hands. He made a big impact on Sunday. They went down the field to him. They went down the field to Miles. They went down the field to Hunter Henry in the seam. They did these things, which we were complaining or praying they would do when Jimmy Hayes was on the show last week. By the way, great job last week, Jimmy and Ian. So the bottom line is they finally did that. And this is what I was saying. Why weren't they doing it sooner?
Yeah.
Why did it come down to do or die? And now you're going to say, fuck it. Go down the field. Like, I don't understand this.
Is it Matt Patricia learning on the job or what?
I don't think he understands the running game he has. And if he's worried about pass protection, you only worry about pass protection if you can't do play action. You can do play action because you have a running game. So you can freeze the second level, freeze the rushers because they got to verify it's in the air, not on the ground. And you give the QB an extra 2 seconds. You give Mac Jones an extra 2 seconds. You get these guys vertical. They've got the talent to do this. And for whatever reason, if they did it, they haven't done it. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
And so the bottom line is that was the one thing that was encouraging. But again, they beat a team with a second and then third string quarterback. Yeah. So
what does it really tell you?
It tells me that they're an underachieving bunch, and it's not really the players' fault. It's the coaching staff. They still have.
You don't hang any of it on the players.
Of course you do, but I'm saying if I'm saying who's getting more of the blame pie, it's the fact that they aren't. It's the fact that they aren't. I'm not saying the players get none of the blame.
Yeah, but I mean the players certainly get a few slices.
I mean they're in. Look, right now
the blame pie. They're getting 45-degree
right now,
isosceles triangle.
If the Patriots win Sunday, they're in the playoffs.
I
give the players the fact the players are actually this close, given that coaching staff, is a fucking miracle because that coaching staff has cost them 4 games at least.
And they're playing Buffalo.
Yeah, and if they had just beaten Chicago at home, this game wouldn't matter. They'd be in. And by the way, when you don't come out ready for Buffalo on Monday Night Football, that's coaching, ladies and gentlemen.
Buffalo or Chicago?
I mean, not Chicago. Chicago, who's so bad. They came into your house and they beat you 33-14. You have people calling for Bailey Zappi. Zappi comes in. Zappi throws a pick. Okay,
he threw a touchdown too. Though.
Yeah, he threw a touchdown and a pick. So it was like, the reality set in. It was just like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Of all the screw-ups in Bill Belichick's coaching career, that night was the biggest one.
Oh, my goodness.
He created.
I don't know if that was the biggest one. I think the Raiders ending was the biggest one.
Yeah, that's
biggest
big.
gaffes.
That's big.
One of the biggest gaffes.
Well, they
in
lost both
sports history.
games.
I know, but that one was insanity.
Well, he didn't technically call the play, but for his players to be so desperate in that moment,
Right.
They felt like they couldn't. If they went to overtime, they were going to lose because they were going to get out coached. Because let's be honest, that's what they were thinking,
No
Tom.
way.
Yeah,
They
well,
weren't thinking.
They
to
were.
me, it doesn't say that. It says that.
No, I'm saying they felt
Bill
they had to-
Belichick typically has a team where everyone on the field knows exactly what the fuck is going on. He always has a team. Everybody on a Bill Belichick
doesn't
team
anymore, Tom.
seems smart as shit.
Not anymore.
I know.
Now they look like the village idiots.
I know.
Look at all the ways they've lost games this year. It's fucking a comedy.
Well, that's the only one that
It's a comedy.
stands out to me that I really saw like
the
that.
fumble on the 6-yard line against Cincinnati.
But that's a physical. That's a physical
The
mistake.
guy had he was going, just go down. It's first down. You even have the timeout. Just go down. What the fuck? Go down.
But that's what makes guys great when they
he
refuse
wasn't
to go
getting
down. I
away
know.
from 4 defensive linemen
I'm not saying he was.
who all had him in the grasp, by the way. It's like, my bottom line is the coaching
And that's the
staff.
bottom line.
The bottom line is Rex Rex Ryan. I ain't letting you. No. Rex, you.
What did Rex say?
On Monday confirmed what I've always said about you. You are the village idiot. Okay? You are the village idiot. For you to sit there on camera, this is your job, Rex. And say what you said about Bill Belichick. When Bill Belichick,
What did he say?
He said, this is Bill Belichick's best coaching job ever. This is a
He's gotta be trolled.
This is a JV level.
He's got to be trolled.
JV level talent team, but his coaching has overcome that. And Ryan Clark, God love him, is sitting there across the other side like this. Like he just saw a ghost. Like he's just like, what? Like I thought a blood vessel was going to pop in his head from the utter shock, like he was on a roller coaster ride, and he said they just went boom. That's how he looked at you.
What did you say?
I mean, and he called you. He's like, Rex, you know Bill drafts the players, right? and he free agent, all that, yeah. Who he cuts, that Bill controls all player personnel decisions. That's why this team has JV level talent. So in other words, Bill Belichick has to outcoach his own mistakes.
But do you agree with that? Because whenever we talk about this team, you speak very highly of the talent.
I think the talent's good. It's not great. And when you spend $175 million in 72 hours and you don't come back with a single Pro Bowl offensive weapon when it was devoid of any weapons, period, you spend that kind of money, you got to get at least one right. Yeah. Okay? If you look at these guys,
who are the people in
Kendrick
this?
Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry, and Matt Judon. Jonnu Smith, the tight end. So 2 tight ends who have Pro Bowl caliber the talent, and these 2 guys on the outside who both are supposed to be burners.
But it also feels like you can draft tight ends.
They tried that. They drafted 2 in 1 year, the year after Gronk retired.
And they missed on both?
Neither one of them is in the league. Okay? So they
That
don't even
means
know.
they drafted poorly. I don't know why they
They've
decided
always
we're going to throw
drafted
all this money at tight
N'Keal
ends.
Harry. You've heard me. N'Keal fucking Harry
That's a receiver.
instead of DK Metcalf or AJ Brown. How fucking stupid can you be?
But somebody else probably made the same mistake, right? Did anybody else pick any receivers prior to that?
People that needed receivers, no, the Patriots were the highest. They needed, and then the other guys went before that are still playing well. There's another guy out there who's a Pro Bowler. He went earlier.
I mean, Giants wasted a first rounder on Kadarius Toney. 2 years later, they've given him to the Chiefs for nothing.
That's what the Patriots gave away N'Keal Harry for a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
And he was a first round pick.
Yeah.
He was so bad they could only get a 7th rounder for him.
Yeah.
And he wasn't injured. He just wasn't any good. So
I want the Giants to draft some fucking.
I mean, this is
awesome
the thing.
receiver.
Do I even want them in the playoffs?
Yes.
For what? They're gonna get bone blasted,
Nah,
just
you're
like
not
last
getting
year.
it. Because a team going to the playoffs teaches them something. Let Mac Jones get to the playoffs again. It'll teach him something. It'll make him better.
He's not getting better being coached by these 2 dimwits.
Well, yes, we know that has to change.
What is one more game going to do there? Nothing. If those 2 were, I'll tell you what.
What if something happens and they freaking get a clue? Maybe they'll just get a clue in the middle of the fucking playoff game. Maybe the chemistry hasn't been there, and they're just going to meld together. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
I can't even.
Be hopeful. Stop fake laughing.
Oh my God! I'm ready to
That's
stop.
fake laughing.
No, I'm not.
I know his real
I'm
laugh.
almost crying.
I know his real laugh. He's
Give me a
fake
break.
laughing.
Give me a
You
break.
never know.
You-
Now, look, whether they get a clue or not, you're not coming back next year with Judge and Patricia leading
If
the
they got in the
offense.
playoffs,
No matter what.
they might come back.
No matter what, you don't.
If they don't get in the playoffs, they don't come back.
Because
there's a 100% chance they don't come back.
If you get into the playoffs, you got into the playoffs in spite of Joe Judge.
Maybe that's not how Bill looks at it.
and Patty Mack.
Maybe that's common sense talking. We're talking about the biggest ego in sports.
That's true.
Okay.
That's where.
If Bill Belichick thought like you, these two never would have been hired, Tom.
Yeah.
So if he was dumb
you
enough,
sure he's that
if he was
egotistical?
dumb enough to hire them, Tom, okay, and dumb enough to keep them all fucking year long, the change should have come in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, it was bad.
How the fuck? Are you kidding me? Dude, we're in the
still
the
blows
bell
my
has
mind.
still not gone off.
It blows my
The
mind.
light bulb has still not gone on. We're in week 17, dude. He still thinks there's hope for this coaching staff.
It really does. That hire blows my mind.
Dude, they've had 2 punts blocked this year. I told you in the last 20 they had 1. Okay, Fucking everything's falling apart. Are you fucking kidding me? The one thing they got right is Matt Judon. Thank God, or they wouldn't have won a fucking game. I mean, come on.
Did they buy him or they drafted him?
They stole. He was a free agent. They signed him away from Baltimore. He spent the money on
Judon
him.
was at Baltimore.
Yeah. He was a
Oh,
Raven.
I think I do. So was he on the Ravens for what? 4 years?
Yeah, he had 12 enough sacks that year. He's a pro. I mean, Judon's a stud. I mean, he's a stud.
Man, a
And
defensive end.
I'm
A
just saying,
star defensive end is a cornerstone
I'm
piece.
telling you, yes, it is. You got to have a guy, Micah Parsons. You got to have a guy on that front line.
Yeah, but he's
that,
more middle linebacker, isn't he?
well, so is Judon. Outside linebacker.
Oh,
outside,
but isn't
So, anyway.
Micah outside? I thought he was.
He's outside.
I thought he was
But they move around. They call it the elephant position.
Yeah.
Like Willie McGinnis used to play. They move this guy all up and down the line. They move him around everywhere. So you can't get a read on him. So it's always, he forces a different matchup every time. Because he's that dude.
Yeah.
He's just that dude. So anyway, the bottom line is the Patriots getting in does nothing.
Yeah.
Because they're going to go to the number 2 seed, who's probably going to be either Cincinnati or the Chiefs or Buffalo. They'll get bum blasted again in any one of those 3 venues. There's no shot in hell. There's no way. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be bad football.
Why couldn't they beat Buffalo?
Because they didn't go vertical. They didn't use.
I think they could beat
they
Buffalo.
They didn't use their running game to set up the vertical passing game because their fucking coach is a bad defensive coordinator. But suddenly he's going to become Bill Walsh. No.
So in the
or
first
Mike
game
Martz.
against Buffalo, what was
Pick
the
a
score?
guy.
What was the score?
It was 24-10.
They can beat Buffalo.
What on earth makes you say that?
Because Buffalo, I've seen Buffalo play games. Buffalo lost to the Jets with Zach Wilson at
They
quarterback.
beat him the second time.
I know, but they lost to the Jets with Zach Wilson at quarterback.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Zach Wilson is like the most toxic thing in New York sports. When they beat the Bills, 5-6 weeks ago? I don't know when it was. I think if one of those teams they could beat, it's the Bills. You don't think so?
There's no chance in hell. There's one. Josh Allen gets hurt before the game. That's the only
But see,
chance they
I think
have
Judon
of beating
could
them.
hurt him.
They will not beat the Buffalo Bills if Josh Allen is breathing. Okay, it isn't going to happen. I'll tell you why. Because Bill Belichick is 0 for the century against mobile quarterbacks. He's 1 of 5 against this guy, and that was in the monsoon last year where he couldn't throw the ball, or he'd be 0-6 against him.
That was where y'all ran the ball.
Yeah,
80
35
times.
fucking times in a row, and the Bills kept trying to throw in these 55-mile gale winds, and they're going like this, and they're trying to throw through it, which just stupid because it's stupid. That's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you're not high on the Pats, but they did stay alive.
I give the players credit for fighting with these nincon poops leading them. And Rex Ryan, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. That line should have been the finalist, the winner of Trojan Ends Boner of the Week. That was the worst fucking line I've heard all season on the morning show. Yeah, this is the best coaching job Bill Belichick's ever done. Like,
That's not a good take.
What the fuck are you looking at? What the fuck are you looking at? What
That is
fucking
not
take?
a good take.
It's the worst fucking take this year. It's the worst. I can't. You want to bash somebody? Fuck Skip Bayless. This one should have. Everybody should have been like, he should be fired tomorrow. This guy's a moron. No one in August, and Rex Ryan was one of these people. Everyone was talking about the coaching and how this is Matt Patricia or Joe Judge. Why? Rex Ryan was saying that. Why? And they've gone backwards. They were top 10 in the league in offense. They're 23rd now. In one fucking year. And the personnel didn't change. Knock it off. Just shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's for you, Rex Ryan.
I'd have to say this is one of... See, that's why I think he might be trolling him.
He was dead serious, man.
Because Rex Ryan has always
When
had
Ryan
it out
Clark
for,
lit him up,
he's always had it out for Bill.
When Rex Ryan, I mean, when Clark, by the way, Ryan Clark lit him up for this, and Ryan Clark took it easy on him. Let's be honest. But the bottom line is, he didn't, because Ryan Clark should have said Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. Right there, you can't say anything. If you look at the numbers,
they're doing everything in spite of those hires.
The players are.
Right.
That's why I give the players credit for not giving up. Okay? And I'll say this. If by some fucking miracle, and it would be a fucking miracle, Tom, if they win Sunday, they deserve to get in. Because Buffalo needs this game too.
They can beat them.
If they win Sunday, because they're going to get Buffalo's best punch, then they deserve to get in.
The problem is, if they beat Buffalo, then they have to go to Buffalo.
No, because Buffalo won't be the 2 seed.
They'll be the 3?
They'll be the 3.
But what seed will the Pats be?
Actually, I don't think Buffalo. I don't know what they could be.
The other
problem is the Pats have to win to get in.
Right.
They can't.
But I'm saying, so they beat Buffalo. That would drop Buffalo to the 2 seed, right?
I think the 2. Well, here's the problem. The Monday night game would have they would have decided this, and we don't I don't know what we don't know. So anyway, the bottom line is we'll see what happens with that. But the Pats have to win to get in, so nothing else really matters. Yeah. If they get in, if they beat Buffalo, I will say, you know what, these guys deserve to be.
Yeah.
Because no one on
if they get in, they deserve to be in.
No one on this planet is predicting them to beat Buffalo and Buffalo, and no one should be. Period.
Tommy Izzo is.
No, you're not.
I'm predicting it.
Why?
I think it's going to happen.
I think you're nuts.
I think Belichick is a better coach than McDermott.
I think you're nuts.
I also think it's going to be hard for Buffalo to play.
If Bill Belichick
I think it's going to be hard for Buffalo.
Was as good a coach as McDermott, they wouldn't have lost that Monday night game to Chicago. If he was as good.
Bill Belichick is a better coach than Sean McDermott.
No, he's not. He is 77 and 86 without Tom Brady.
Come on.
Sean McDermott's record is way better than that.
What's his record?
He's like 700. I've looked at it. He's like 700.
What has he coached? 100 games? Not even?
I don't care what he's unless it's only 2 seasons. He's coached more than 2 seasons. If it was 2 seasons or less, I wouldn't pay him.
Okay, so yeah,
he's been there like 4 or 5 years.
What am I talking about? What does he coach? 40 games?
4 or 5 years. As
50
the head
games?
Counting playoffs?
70 games?
Been in the playoffs 3 out of 5 years.
70 games?
Maybe, I don't know. I know this. He's won 700% of his games. Bill can't say that.
All right. So
and he's won playoff games.
4-year career
Bill has a
20-year dominance.
Bill has one that was Tom Brady, and you know it.
He was a part of that.
He proved it when he went to Tampa and won the Super Bowl in a COVID year. And the Patriots missed the playoffs. The Patriots finished below 500. The Patriots have sucked donkey dick since. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, dude, you're painting this argument differently than I'm trying to put it. I agree. Tom Brady is more a part of that, is more a reason for that than Bill Belichick.
He is.
But Bill Belichick was also a reason for that.
He was a reason.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, he's also the biggest reason for this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's the biggest reason for
I
this.
think that's
and
true.
he is suddenly not going to
I think that's
morph
true.
into. If he had a clue, there's no fucking way he'd have hired Matt Patricia and Joe Judge.
I totally agree.
Okay?
However,
that was a desperate move.
however, you're saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance that 1 in a million somehow.
Give me a score.
The stars align.
Give me a score.
The stars align. Lightning strikes. Matt Patricia, Joe Judge get a fucking clue.
Give me a
They
score.
get a clue. A score?
Give me a score.
21-17, Pats. I mean, a score is a score. What the fuck?
Buffalo, and they're going to put up over 30.
33?
Maybe more.
37.
I don't know exactly, but they're going to
No,
be
but you
over
asked
30.
me. I had to come up with a fake score.
They're going to put. All right, so I'll call it 35-14.
Damn, come on, Pats.
They're not good.
Better have more life than that.
They should, but Buffalo needs the game also. Buffalo's trying to lock up the number 1 seed.
Dude, but
Buffalo doesn't want to see the Patriots in the playoffs.
emotionally, where do you think Buffalo's going to be?
Well, this is the $1 million. I'll tell you what's going to end up happening. This is
That's
going
gonna be-
to. This is going to end up galvanizing
They're
them.
gonna rally around them?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And
Yeah,
they're
but,
gonna.
you know-
they might kick the Pats harder than they did in the playoff last
So
year.
I think that's possible, but I also think there could be it could
they're
be
going to
really-
see
there
that
could be
team
a big
across the
strain
way that kicked their hiney for 20 years and go, oh no, you're not keeping us from this. There's no coach.
there. Yeah,
on the
but they're
planet.
getting in.
There is no coach on the planet.
Buffalo's getting
they
in.
need the 1 seed. They need it. They don't have Von Miller anymore. This kid's not coming back this season.
Yeah.
And he was a starter, and he earned it. I'm just hoping he walks out of that thing knowing how to talk. Okay, this poor kid. I mean,
Are you talking about tomorrow?
yes, he was a starter.
Oh yeah, of course he's not
He
coming.
was having a good year.
Well, and he was in there because
The other guy got hurt.
what's the other guy's name?
I forget, but he was good. But
Demar.
Demar's done well.
He's got a cool name. What the hell is his name?
I forget. I know who you're talking about. But anyway, the bottom line is there is no way the Patriots are beating this team on Sunday.
I think there's a chance.
Injury is the only way.
So you're saying there's a chance?
If your one miracle scenario where Judon gets to him and knocks him out is the
You
only.
don't think that could happen?
I do. It's the only thing that could happen. But I give it a.
There's a shot.
I would give it a less than 5% chance of happening.
Oh,
Because Buffalo knows who this guy is. They're going to double team him all night
but
long.
then my dude on the other side, what's his name? Uche.
Yep.
He's a beast.
Yes, he is. But this isn't just anyone. Josh Allen is a 6'5" running back
No,
with
that's
an
true.
arm.
He could put you down.
He can put you down. Yeah. So I mean, the bottom line is, this is a bad matchup for them. Bill Belichick hasn't gotten near these guys unless there was a fucking nor'easter.
I really hope
They have not-
Belichick
they have
puts
not
together
lost.
a game plan the way he does.
Doesn't know how to stop a mobile quarterback.
I think he's going to figure it out.
Matt, listen to me.
He figures
Josh
it out this
Allen
weekend.
is not Patrick Mahomes. I go on and on and on. Lamar Jackson has literally wiped his ass with Belichick's face. He's literally wiped his ass with it. He hasn't beat him. He's drubbed him.
He's a stronger runner than Allen, though, right?
He is.
Lamar.
Lamar Jackson's the best running quarterback in the league.
Does Allen throw better than Lamar? Slightly?
Yeah, Josh Allen has a cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar's got an arm, though.
But Josh is accurate.
Yeah.
First
couple of years, he was.
Josh.
First
I'll say
couple
this.
of years, Allen
Lamar
was.
Jackson has arm strength.
Yeah, right.
Josh Allen has arm strength and accuracy. He has both. That's the difference.
Took him a minute, though.
It did, but
Right.
McDermott got this kid right, to his credit.
Mackle duty.
McAdoo. And the bottom line is, Bill Belichick has yet to prove he can do anything without Tom Brady other than back into the playoffs and get bum blasted 47-17. That's all Bill Belichick has proven to me. That's it. That's the only thing. That's it. I'm just saying. If they backed in last year, and they may back in this year.
All right, enough of you bashing your team.
Anyway,
What are some other teams that stayed alive? Titans and Jags winning in.
Packers.
Packers stayed alive.
Packers winning. They're in this.
I was talking to my uncle tonight or earlier today. He told me he thinks the Packers are the most dangerous team. I don't know if I agree with him.
Here's the problem with that. Do you know who the Packers are saying? If the Packers get in,
They got to go to San Fran.
Yeah, they're losing. They are not beating that team. They're not beating that team. So they're not going to get a chance to be a threat because they're going to lose to San
Dude,
Francisco.
but after watching Stidham,
They've beaten nobody.
but after watching what Stidham and the Raiders did,
You want to know why that happened?
why?
Honestly, because the Raiders do have the best receiver in football, number one. And number two, there's no tape anywhere on Jared Stidham. None.
Okay.
Nobody knew a damn thing about him. They had the element of surprise, and it took San Fran a while. This guy can move, he can run. He was a dual threat.
Okay,
He's
so
fucking-
you don't think Aaron Rodgers could be better than Jared Stidham?
It's not that he's not better. The Niners have a million tapes on him, and they've beaten them twice in a row in the NFC title game in Green Bay.
All right, I'll give you that.
They're not afraid of Aaron. If I'm San Fran, I'm like, we're going to get Aaron Rodgers. Oh, baby, bring him.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they are. Because they own his ass. They're living rent free. And Aaron
Rent-free.
Rodgers doesn't
look
want
at you.
to.
What are you, a Gen Zer?
Listen to me.
Living
Aaron
rent-free.
Rodgers does not want to see San Francisco.
Nobody does.
But he has.
That's true.
He has done.
Do you remember
worse.
when Kaepernick and them pounded them?
Yeah.
San Fran against the.
Yep.
And Kaepernick was running for like 70 yards.
Yeah, he was crazy.
Was that a championship game?
It was. It was one of them.
It was.
Yeah, they don't want to see San Fran. Yeah. That defense has owned Aaron Rodgers for quite a while now. He does not. If Aaron, that will not be Aaron Rodgers' comeback game.
You know who I want to see get in?
Who?
And this is partly because I predicted it.
Yes.
So I'd like to see the Lions get in.
I'd love to see the Lions get in.
I don't think there's any chance because I think the Seahawks have to lose.
Who are the Seahawks playing?
Pretty sure the Seahawks are playing a cupcake. They're playing the Rams, I think.
Oh, that's a cupcake.
Yeah, that's a cupcake. That's a cupcake with Baker Mayfield.
But they could beat Green Bay and knock Green Bay out.
Oh, yeah, because if the Seahawks win and they beat Green Bay, then the Seahawks get it,
Exactly.
right? I think I'd like to see that more.
I would like to see that.
I wouldn't mind seeing Geno Smith make it to the playoffs.
I want to see the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor
They're an
Lawrence,
exciting team.
Trevor Lawrence, I'm telling you right now, that kid, sunshine. Sunshine.
Well, dude, there is no way in hell
I'm telling you.
that the Titans are beating the Jags. Because I'm pretty sure Derrick Henry's still out. Remember last week?
Ryan Tannehill he's Carson Wentz. He's fucking.
He's not as good as Carson Wentz.
He's not. He's worse than Carson Wentz.
Actually, no, hold on a second. No.
Tannehill was
I'll
never
take
an
that
MVP
back.
candidate.
Okay, I
Never.
take that back.
Never, ever,
Carson
ever.
Wentz, before he got hurt, was 10 times better than Ryan Tannehill. Current Carson Wentz is definitely worse than Ryan Tannehill.
I don't know.
Dude, Tannehill's played some good games in Tennessee.
Yeah, when he had a lot of weapons.
Oh, I know. Without
Like
weapons,
King Henry
yeah.
for one.
Yeah, without weapons, there's no.
Carson Wentz, to be fair, never
Carson
had.
Wentz without weapons isn't shit.
No, but he never had an A.J. Brown.
Who do you have in Philly?
No one like that.
Deshaun Jackson?
No, he wasn't there then. Not for the Super Bowl year, he wasn't.
Yeah, who the hell were their receivers?
I can't remember one of them. But the bottom line is, he was having an MVP. I'm not saying they didn't have any good receivers. They probably did, but nobody jumps out at you.
I know. I'm trying to think of who it was.
Bottom line is, Ryan Tannehill,
Nelson Aguilar was one of them.
bust.
Who was that big-handed wide receiver they had?
Who?
He came over from Chicago.
Corn Robinson?
No.
Big hand.
Big ass hands. Looked like he wore the big white gloves.
I'm
He was
trying
on
to think of
Chicago.
him.
Chicago drafted him.
Didn't
Yeah. The hell's his name?
they? He was a wide receiver or a tight end?
Wide receiver. Alshon Jeffrey. He was a good receiver.
Okay.
6'3". You don't remember Alshon Jeffrey?
No, I don't. And they beat us in the Super Bowl there. Thanks to Bill. Any event.
No, you're right. They didn't have a lot of.
No, they didn't. Bottom line
I don't
is.
even know why we're talking about this.
I don't know, because we're just trying to sputter around football. But anyway, we're going to end segment 2 right now. Segment 3 coming back. This is going to be a short one. But we are going to address the Boston Celtics. And, yeah, we are real
Dude,
quick.
it's 11:30. Let's just talk about them.
No, I want to break it up. Give us 1 minute, because I have to figure out what exactly what I want to say. Hold on. We'll be back in 1 minute. Get a beer. Get a drink. It's Wet My Whistle Wednesday.
Get a beer.
It's Wet My Whistle Wednesday. Get that beer.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.